The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to another GoldMine 101, our regular series of short presentations giving you hints and tips for getting the most out of GoldMine CRM. And in this session, I'm going to cover the MergePurge Record Wizard. Bit of a mouthful, but this is the more complete approach to managing duplicate records in your GoldMine system. Hopefully you would have attended or seen our previous presentation on merging tagged records, a very simple way of merging records as and when you see them. But this is the more complete, comprehensive approach, the full Monty approach to managing duplicate records in your GoldMine system. So, hello, my name is Tim Wilmot and my company, Wizard Systems. We are a leading supplier of independent supplier of leading CRM solutions like GoldMine, and we provide assistance to mainly small and mid-sized organizations to improve their sales, marketing, and customer service productivity through solutions like GoldMine. Now, this presentation will be about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, so there is quite a lot. There's quite a few options on the MergePurge Wizard. So if you do need any more assistance on managing duplicate records in your GoldMine system or a little bit of training around this area, please contact Wizard Systems for more details. The audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got a question, pop that into the question box on your meeting control panel. I'll do my best to answer that at the end. At the end, I'll give you an update on any GoldMine product news as of late October 2020. And this call is being recorded. After the presentation, you will get an email from our system with a link to the recording, and it will be published on our YouTube channel as well. Just go to Wizard Systems up on YouTube, and you'll see there well over 100 other GoldMine videos. So just a brief mention about Wizard Systems. As I say, we are a leading supplier of products like GoldMine. We've been doing this a long time. And we provide not only the product and upgrades, GoldMine upgrades, but also GoldMine add-ons, any kind of implementation and training assistance you might need, and a permanently manned GoldMine help desk as well, ready to answer your calls. Okay, so let's get into GoldMine then and the MergePurge Wizard. So as I say, on a previous session, we handled the merging of tagged records as you see them in the Contact Search Center. As you're working with records, you find them, you can very easily tag them and merge them together, two or many records together. This is the more complete approach. The MergePurge Record Wizard is a more complete approach to literally go over your whole database or a subset of the database and then merge records together based on your comparison criteria. And really, as regards comparison criteria, how do we compare two records together to deem that they are duplicates? How do we tell GoldMine to do that? Well, we're mainly focusing on the contact record field. So primarily the fields that we see in the top half of the screen here. And we don't have to go on just, the comparison doesn't have to be just on one field, it could be on multiple fields. So we could be doing a comparison, a search on maybe a combination of the contact name and the postcode. If there's a match of the contact name and the postcode, maybe that would be we would deem that to be a duplicate record, and we would merge the two records together and remove the offending record. So what this MergePurge Record Wizard will do is allow you to build up your search criteria, and it will then go through these records. There's different options, different processes for going through your records, either a manual way or an automatic way, and it will simply merge those records together. And indeed, it will also add in or merge together the related records, for example, your activities, so things on the history tab, the pending tab, the detailed tab, links, notes, they will all be merged into the to be saved record. So you're not going to lose anything in this process, you will end up with one good record rather than two maybe not so good records, if you see what I mean. Okay, let's get into it then. So the MergePurge Record Wizard, you said wizard then, wizard is under your MergePurge Records option off data management. So I went tools, data management, MergePurge Records, and there we are, MergePurge Record Wizard. Cautionary note number one, make sure you've got a backup. In this process, there is no edit undo. If you have deleted a record from your GoldMine system, consider it deleted. It has gone from your system. There is no way, unless you've got a backup, there is no way of getting that record back. So a cautionary note there. Second cautionary note, this procedure, this capability should only be used by someone that we would call the GoldMine administrator, the main GoldMine user, the master user, if you like. This process would not normally be done by your ordinary day-to-day users. This would be done by the manager of the system, and they would have made sure the backup has been done, and they will be familiar with all of the options within the MergePurge Record Wizard. So please consult Wizard Systems if you're unsure about any of that, or if you need a little bit of extra training or want to make sure that the security options for your users are set correctly. There are some very powerful capabilities within GoldMine, and by default, some of them may be available to all users day one. So if you're setting up a new GoldMine system, please review that. Anyway, let's crack on. So I assume I've done a backup. Now, first question, are you using a predefined profile, a profile that you had done before? So as we go through this, we will have an option at the end to save this profile if we are regularly wanting to trawl through our database and manage duplicates based on the same comparison criteria. The way that we want to merge the records together is exactly the same. Then we would have saved a profile. For the purpose of this little demo, I'm going to use a new criteria here. Next. Right. Next important point. Are we now merging records across all of our database? That's the default there, that all contact records, or maybe a subset of our database. This is where we will see those filters and groups, those lists that you've defined previously that can be chosen there, and you can also choose other users' lists, filters and groups if you want to. Next. Now, this merge purge happens, the actual merging of duplicate records happens when a qualifying weight is met or exceeded. The default here is 50. So I'm now going to be adding in one or many field comparisons, field comparison criteria, if you like, and I will be prompted for the number of points I want to allocate to that criteria. So if, for example, I was doing a match of the company name and then a match of the contact name, for example, I might apply 25 points to both of those criteria. So if GoldMine comes across a record where the company name is matched, 25 points, the contact name is matched, 25 points, we meet the qualifying weight. So and any other combination of that. So you could have three field comparison criteria. Maybe you just want to make it work on any comparison of the two. So I could add in a third criteria, maybe a match of the postcode, for example. That might be deemed as some kind of uniqueness against a record. Anyway, so I'll leave it at 50. If I click on new, then this is where I'm now beginning to select the first criteria, the one or many criteria of my search. So This is where I can now select the field I want to look for. They're in alphabetical order. So there's all of the fields that you can select, the primary fields and more miscellaneous fields, and indeed your custom fields there as well. After selecting the field, I then want to choose the comparison method. So there is soundex value. We've had mixed results with that. So that's where LTD might sound like LIMITED, if you see what I mean. So similar sounding words. It's not the best soundex match available, but it's there anyway, and you might want to give it a go as long as you've done a backup. We could match on the first word, pretty self-explanatory. Exact match, again, self-explanatory, or first number of characters up to the actual width of that field. Now, the company field, I believe, is about 40 characters long. Maybe for some reason you just want to search on the first 25 characters. So you could pop that in there and that would do that. So other options, are you looking for case sensitive comparisons? Do you want to match on empty fields? But the important thing is down here, number of points. So let's pop in 25 into that one. So that's criteria number 1. Repeat the process for criteria number 2. And here we go again. Let's say we're going to search on the contact name. So that's the combination of the first name and the last name. Again, is that the same choice? Do we want to match on soundex value, first word, exact match, or first characters? And the number of points allocated as criteria is 25. So if I have in my MergePurge wizard here, if I get a match of company and contact, then the merge will take place. So click next here. Right. There's only a few more screens to go. Please select the following merge method. So when the merge is like, when the duplicate record is identified, what record do you want to keep? The record that was created first or the record that was last updated? There might be a choice to be made there. And also an option here for create the linked additional contact in each record as well. So putting in the contact that you're merging as an additional contact. Now, lower down here, we've got create an additional contact, the non-surviving record, promptly before merging or dry run. Prompt me before merging will allow you to, in a more manual way, go through the duplicate records and you choose what option or which record you want to save. You'll see the records left and right on your screen, and you'll be able to then choose which one that you want to select. Right, the purge method. Do you want to delete the duplicate record, or do you want to update a field value to indicate the record deletion? In my experience, most people would leave the default option here. We're going to delete the duplicate record as long as you've got a backup of your GoldMine database. There are some occasions where you want to populate a field with a value of your choosing, a few letters or whatever it might be, a label, and then later on you could build a filter of that value and then go through those records and delete them. So if you wanted that sort of extra precautionary step, then you might want to choose that. But in my experience, most people would go for delete the duplicate record. Click next. Right, we're at the end here. Do you want to save this for future use? Yes, I do. So I would type in here something like match of company and contact, something like that, so I can recognize it later on. Click next. And if I hit finish here, off it will go. And in the background, it will purge your duplicate records based on that criteria. I'm not going to here because it's quite a large database, and it will take a good few minutes to go through that based on that criteria. So that's the MergePurge Record Wizard then. Hopefully that you can see a value to that. Not many CRM systems have that built-in dedupe merge capability. Some have a very basic capability, but GoldMine has got a very extensive capability, and also that merging tag records as well, which is quite useful as you spot duplicate records. So hopefully that's been of interest to you. If you've got any questions around this topic, please type those into the question section on your meeting control panel. I'll do my best to answer those. So Joe is asking, how about checking for duplicate detail records? Well, that is not possible with the MergePurge Wizard. You could, okay, there is another option. You could use an SQL query. So GoldMine has built into it an SQL query. So if you know something about how these detail records could be matched, then an SQL query would identify those, and then you could manually remove them from those records. So an SQL query or indeed a report could do that. Or thirdly, thinking about it, a dashboard in GoldMine. So a dashboard could be created for showing duplicate records in your system, so you could constantly go back to that more visual dashboard and see those duplicate detail records there. Right, Colby, if you just put an entry in a field for a duplicate record to be deleted, what would you do next? Well, as I say, this is not not a very common procedure with the merging of duplicate records, but it is in there. What you would do next is, well, consider what you may want to do with those duplicate records. Do you want to remove those? Because these are obvious duplicate records, so they would typically at some stage be removed, or maybe even archived off into another GoldMine database. You can create multiple databases in GoldMine, so it would be possible with that filter of those records that are being marked for deletion because they are duplicates. You could conceivably have them transferred to another GoldMine contact database. Right, don't think there's any more questions coming through. Thank you very much for those. Latest news then. All our training is online right now because of the situation with the pandemic in the UK. All of our implementation, well, we've been doing online stuff for a number of years now, so this is not new to us, but increasingly this has accelerated our change to doing a lot of things online. So if you do have any requirements for any kind of GoldMine help or training, that's online, and we can record the session as well, so you can always use that as a resource to go back and share it with other colleagues. So please contact us for details if you have a requirement for any GoldMine training. Latest version of GoldMine is 2020.1. We have had a couple of hot fixes since its initial release, but if you are on a maintenance contract, this is the only way of getting upgrades, is to make sure you've got an annual maintenance contract with us, and that will entitle you to apply, download and apply these upgrades as they become available from the authors. If you're not on maintenance right now, please contact Wizard Systems for more details on special pricing if you think you've been off maintenance for some time. So thanks very much for your time, those listening live. If you've got any suggestions for future topics, please email me, tim@wizard-systems.com. There's all our other contact details there. We'll catch up with you same time next week to cover another GoldMine topic. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.